What's happening to Colorado's bunnies? G'day, wildlife warriors! Today, we're exploring a wild mystery in Colorado. Imagine spotting a bunny with strange, dark horns sprouting from its head, like something out of a storybook. These unusual rabbits have sparked curiosity and even inspired the legendary jackalope. But these horns aren't just folklore, they're a real phenomenon. Nature often surprises us, and these bunnies are a perfect example. So, let's gear up and uncover the truth behind Colorado's mysterious horned rabbits. Join me as we discover what's really going on and why these creatures matter. Hearing about horned rabbits sounds magical, right? The idea conjures up images of mythical creatures, like something straight out of a fairy tale or a fantasy novel. You might imagine a rabbit bounding through the fields, sporting a pair of majestic antlers, as if it leapt from the pages of a storybook. But what if I told you that, in certain parts of the world, people have actually reported seeing rabbits with what look like horns growing from their heads? In Colorado, these sightings aren't just rare tales whispered around campfires. They're real, documented encounters. Locals and wildlife enthusiasts have spotted rabbits with strange, horn-like projections, and the phenomenon has sparked curiosity and confusion for generations. It's a case where reality seems to outdo even the wildest fiction. People describe seeing black, spiky growths, sometimes small and stubby, other times branching out like the antlers of a deer, mainly on the heads and necks of these rabbits. The shapes and sizes can vary dramatically, making each sighting unique and even more mysterious. These growths aren't soft or furry like the rest of the rabbit's body. Instead, they're hard, dark, and scaly, almost like twisted miniature tree branches or even tentacles. Up close, they look both fascinating and a little unsettling, giving the rabbits an almost otherworldly appearance. What's even more intriguing is that no two rabbits look exactly the same. Some have just a single growth, while others have several, each with its own shape and pattern. This diversity only deepens the mystery and has led to countless stories and local legends. Scientists have spent years studying these unusual growths, carefully examining where they appear on the rabbits' bodies. The location and pattern of the growths offer important clues about how the condition spreads from one animal to another, and why some rabbits are affected while others remain untouched. For centuries, these horned rabbits were a complete enigma. Early settlers and Native Americans alike told stories about them, and old newspaper clippings and photographs show that people have been fascinated and sometimes frightened by these creatures for generations. The mystery fueled legends of magical animals and inspired the creation of the mythical jackalope. Today, thanks to advances in science and veterinary medicine, we finally have answers. It turns out these aren't true horns at all, but the result of a specific illness that affects wild rabbits. The growths are actually tumors caused by a virus, not a sign of some new species or magical mutation. The main victims of this strange condition are cottontail rabbits, which are common throughout Colorado and much of North America. These gentle creatures are especially vulnerable to the disease, which can dramatically change their appearance. The real culprit behind these bizarre changes is a tiny germ, a virus known as the Shope Papillomavirus. This virus infects the skin of rabbits, causing the cells to grow uncontrollably and form those strange horn-like tumors. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into how this virus works, how it spreads, and what it means for the rabbits of Colorado. So what's really behind these horns? It's a virus, specifically the cottontail rabbit papillomavirus. This virus causes warty growths, much like warts in humans, but far more dramatic. The virus enters through a cut or insect bite, hijacking the rabbit's skin cells and causing them to grow out of control. The result? Tall, spiky structures made of keratin, the same stuff as our nails and hair. It's wild to think something microscopic can create such a visible effect. These rabbits aren't monsters, they're just animals coping with a tough virus. Understanding this helps us replace fear with compassion. Let's see what makes this virus so unique. The cottontail rabbit papillomavirus, often abbreviated as CRPV, is a fascinating member of the papillomavirus family, a vast group of viruses that have evolved to infect a wide range of animal species, from reptiles and birds to mammals like us. Each type of papillomavirus is highly specialized, targeting specific hosts and often causing unique symptoms in each. In the case of CRPV, its chosen host is the cottontail rabbit, a common wild rabbit species found throughout North America. This virus is a true rabbit specialist, having evolved over thousands, perhaps even millions of years, to infect cottontails with remarkable efficiency. Its genetic code is finely tuned to exploit the biology of these rabbits, allowing it to persist and spread within wild populations. The story of CRPV's discovery is just as intriguing. In the early 1930s, Dr. Richard Shope, a pioneering American virologist, was the first to identify this virus. His groundbreaking research revealed that CRPV could actually cause cancer in mammals, a revelation that changed the course of cancer research forever. Before this, scientists weren't sure if viruses could trigger cancer in animals, let alone humans. When a rabbit is infected with CRPV, it often develops wart-like growths, called papillomas, on its skin, especially on the face, ears, and other exposed areas. Most of these growths are benign, meaning they don't spread or invade other tissues. However, in some cases, these papillomas can become cancerous over time, posing a serious threat to the rabbit's health. The virus spreads primarily through biting insects, such as mosquitoes and ticks. These insects act as tiny, unwitting carriers, transferring the virus from one rabbit to another as they feed. This explains why papillomas are most commonly found on parts of the rabbit's body that are exposed to insect bites, like the ears, nose, and face. But insect bites aren't the only way CRPV gets around. The virus can also be transmitted through direct contact between rabbits, especially when they groom each other or interact closely in the wild. This means that social behaviors like nuzzling or play fighting can also help the virus spread through a population. Interestingly, not every rabbit that catches the virus will develop dramatic horn-like growths. Some may only get tiny warts that are barely noticeable, while others might not show any visible signs of infection at all. The severity of symptoms can vary widely from one rabbit to another. Several factors influence how the virus affects each individual rabbit. Age is important. Young rabbits and older, weaker individuals are often more susceptible. A rabbit's overall health, immune system strength, and even its genetic background can all play a role in determining whether it develops large tumors, small warts, or remains symptom-free. This creates a complex and ever-changing relationship between the virus and its host. The virus must balance its need to spread with the health of the rabbit population, ensuring it doesn't wipe out its own hosts. Scientists continue to study CRPV not only to understand rabbit health, but also because it offers valuable insights into how viruses can cause cancer and how diseases spread in wild animal populations. Now let's take a closer look at how these unusual growths impact the daily lives and survival of cottontail rabbits in the wild. The growths themselves aren't painful, but they can cause big problems. If they block a rabbit's eyes, it can't spot predators. Around the mouth, they make eating tough, risking starvation. Sometimes growths even block nostrils, making breathing hard. Large growths can snag on branches, causing wounds and infections. These challenges make life much harder for affected rabbits. There's no cure for wild rabbits, so they must rely on their resilience. That's why it's important to respect their space and not add to their stress. These bunnies are survivors, not monsters. They deserve our empathy and understanding. Worried about catching something from these rabbits? Don't be. The cottontail rabbit papillomavirus is strictly a rabbit problem. It can't infect humans. Our bodies aren't the right environment for this virus. So, if you spot a horned rabbit, enjoy the rare sight from a distance. Remember, never touch or try to catch wild animals, sick or healthy. Wild animals can be stressed by humans, and it's best to let them be. Share the facts. These rabbits aren't dangerous, just misunderstood. By spreading knowledge, we help protect both people and wildlife. Let's replace fear with curiosity and care. Pet owners, relax. Your dogs and cats are safe. The rabbit papillomavirus doesn't infect pets. It's specific to cottontail rabbits. Dogs and cats have their own papillomaviruses, but they don't catch them from rabbits. Still, keep pets from chasing wildlife. Stress can harm sick animals. Responsible pet ownership protects both pets and wild creatures. Keep your dog on a leash in wildlife areas and your yard secure. That way everyone, pets and wildlife, stays safe and healthy. Want to help these rabbits? Sometimes the best help is giving them space. There's no treatment for wild rabbits, and trying to catch them only causes stress. Be a wildlife advocate. Share the real story behind horned rabbits. Educate others to replace fear with empathy. Make your yard wildlife friendly. Avoid pesticides, provide shelter, and offer water. If you find a severely injured animal, call a wildlife rehab center, not try to help yourself. Professionals know how to help safely. Every small action makes a difference for local wildlife. Let's be champions for these misunderstood creatures. In the wild, rolling landscapes of Colorado, there exists a creature that has sparked both curiosity and myth for generations: the horned rabbit. With their unusual horn-like growths, these rabbits might look startling at first glance, almost as if they've leapt straight from the pages of a fairy tale. But these remarkable animals are not the monsters of legend. They are living proof of nature's endless creativity and resilience. These horned rabbits teach us a powerful lesson: to look beyond appearances and see the true beauty that lies within every living being. Their unique features are not flaws, but adaptations, stories written in fur and bone about survival in a challenging world. What might seem frightening or strange is often just a testament to the incredible ways animals adapt to their environments. These rabbits have learned to survive harsh winters, evade predators, and find food in the most unlikely places. Their story is one of perseverance and adaptation, not fear. Far from being monsters, these rabbits are resilient survivors, living examples of how life finds a way, even when faced with adversity. Their presence in the wild is a reminder that every creature has a role to play in the tapestry of nature. Every animal, no matter how unusual or misunderstood, deserves our respect and kindness. When we take the time to observe and learn, we discover that even the most unexpected creatures have their own unique beauty and value. Nature's diversity is what makes it truly beautiful. Even when it includes illness, imperfection, or features we don't fully understand, every animal contributes to the rich, vibrant world we share. It's these differences that make the natural world endlessly fascinating. So next time you're out exploring the great outdoors, keep your eyes open for wonders like these horned rabbits. You never know what incredible stories are unfolding right at your feet. If you're lucky enough to spot one, remember its story. Let yourself feel awe, not fear, and appreciate the resilience and beauty that every creature brings to our world. Let's choose curiosity and compassion for all creatures, big or small, familiar or strange. By opening our hearts and minds, we can learn so much from the animals who share our planet. By protecting wildlife and sharing their stories, we help make the world a kinder, more understanding place for all. Crikey, isn't wildlife amazing? Thanks for caring, mates. Let's keep celebrating the wonders of nature together.